So, when you're 12 years old, want to meet some girls, you need a profession. So, I decided my profession was going to be a magician. And it wasn't long that I found out that, like, a deck of cards wasn't exactly a chick magnet. Hey, want to pick a card? So, but it was too late. I'd already been practicing, I learned how to just cut that rope just the right way, tie that knot just the right way, kind of sprinkle that dust and poof. So, decided what I really needed to do was some magic shows for a 9-year-old birthday parties. There's only one problem. I wasn't really that good. And also, when a 9-year-old wants a 12-year-old magician at their birthday party, they are looking for one thing: to bury that 12-year-old, to bust that 12-year-old. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard the line, "It's in your pocket." Well, you're fucking right, it is in my pocket. Where am I going to put it? But I can't say that, because then it wouldn't be magic. It would just be a trick. Around the same time, I used to go to these like magic meetings over at the Arts and Crafts Center. That's where the real magicians were. No gimmicks. These guys were the real thing. They could read your mind. I'll give you an example. This guy was amazing. He handed a phone book to someone in the audience. And then someone yelled out a number from 1 to 1,000. 623. Person turned to page 623. A number from 1 to 5. 3. 1 to third column. And a number from 1 to 100. 63. And they counted down 63. And then you could just see the waves, the amazing waves of thought moving from that spectator, wafting across this audience into the brain of the mentalist. Myron Kozlowski. 602 Pine Street. Lehigh 1827. No, 996. Lehigh 18296. Applause. Reading minds. Even though I was a magician and knew that there was a trick to everything, I wasn't too sure about this one. I got my rope trick down to such a point where I got to perform with the big guys at the Syria Mosque. Got to do my rope trick. So, I did my rope trick and I was still backstage, and the next act was this guy, the mentalist, the guy who didn't need a gimmick, who could really read your mind. And I'm watching him from backstage, and there he is, out there in the middle of the audience. A number from 1 to 1,000. A number from 1 to 5. A number from 1 to 100. Ah, yes. And then I saw, as he was concentrating, feeling that thought waft towards the stage. He looked at me, and he knew that I was getting it too. And then he looked at me, and I could see that it wasn't exactly me he was looking at. And I looked beside me, and there was his wife, with a phone book on her lap, with a magic marker and a big piece of cardboard, writing down William Stewart. And she held it up for just a second and then put it back down, and then the phone number. Well, he was busted. But you know what? I was busted too. Realizing that I was never going to be a mentalist, nor was anyone else. The next birthday party I did was the best, because I said at the beginning of the show, how many people here have ever seen a magician before? Everyone raised their hand. I said, is there really such a thing as magic? And everyone said, no. And I said, that's right. These were 9-year-olds. But they knew. And I said, so today we're just going to pretend. We're just going to pretend. And together, we can make magic happen. And that's exactly what happened. We made magic happen. And on that chick magnet thing, my wife actually did meet me at a magic show, but now I do have a much better understanding of what she meant by saying, you had me at the first card trick.
Dan, everybody! And I would disagree. I think that first position was still, there was a bit of magic there. Because any man who